Today being a monumentous day for the financial markets, especially with precious metals in focus. That's what's moving today. Gold up nearly 1%. Silver behind me up over 2.5%. We'll get onto that in a second, but gold, of course, that magical $1,800 mark being broken now. 1818 is where we're currently standing. Those are highs from 2011. And of course that comes hand in hand with central banks lowering interest rates, creating more safe haven demand for the metals, given uncertainty with Federal Reserve and the Bank of England and the ECB counterparts, the major central banks around the world. Investors flocking into tech safe havens, such as the major tech stocks, which are making up a large portion of these gains in both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. As well as that, they're also seeking after precious metals as another safe haven asset. And of course, that magical $2,000 an ounce figure is on people's cards for gold. Now, behind me, analysis here on silver, up 2.5% on the day. Now, why is silver important? Silver generally lags gold, but also has similar chart patterns. But what you do see in silver is higher strength ratios when you have big moves like this, as we've seen today. So 1866 is the current print. This is the price action from today. As you can see, throughout the final week of June and into July, we've been moving higher. Now, if we move to a daily time frame, we can see to the left here, we did reach these highs of 1890 back in on the 11th of December, as well as February 2020. So this indicates a possible surge again up to that level as we've cleared this previous resistance point at the 1860 mark. So we're looking at 1893. Bulls are looking to attack 1893. You hit 1893, then you've got this beautiful area all the way up to 1967 in silver to go for. So we're looking for a target there and a target here on the daily time frame. Remember, when we do our analysis, we're looking at the previous, we're looking to the left, seeing where the space is. We're seeing a clearance of 1893, then a move up to 1967 should the safe haven appetite continue. As you can see, silver actually has a very similar picture to what we're seeing in the equity markets, with that big spike to the downside, of course, from the initial COVID shock, and now this sort of V-shaped recovery pattern, which we've also seen as a profound pattern throughout global equity. So what we're expecting for is this to possibly continue. Nothing is really changing in the macro world. So people are still flocking to tech stocks. People are still flocking to the safe havens. And also, as the world gets back into action, miners are also coming back into play. So we're seeing mining activity up, China production up, and Asian economic activity in the APAC area also up. So big commodity driven economies such as China, Australia, for example, are back in action. So we're looking at these two assets here. Well, what I also want to bring your attention to is the price of gold. So gold on our charts behind me, 1807 is where we're currently resting, but you can see that surge above the 1800 mark. And now what we're possibly looking for is a possible retest back down below 1800 and using that key resistance level possibly to again consolidate and then make another leg higher up to 1825 is what investors have as a possible target to the upside on gold. So what we're looking at is scenarios for gold and silver both moving to the upside, but do look for sharp rejections in the short term. However, the mentality for investors is bullish on precious metals and also equity. So keep your eyes on those two key markets. Pleasure having you watch this video. Any questions about BlackBull markets or our analysis videos, just let us know. Comment, like, subscribe. All the best.